Hi, this is the Alchemist Astrologer, and this is the February Inside Out reading for Taurus Sun, Taurus Rising, and Taurus Moon. So we're going to start off with your conscious desires. This would be your known intention, and your conscious desires are the ones that you are actively pursuing. It's also what you're openly telling yourself or others about why you are doing what you're doing. So you have the Knight of Pentacles, Dead End, and Illuminate. So for some of you, this night, maybe it represents you. This is earth energy, or there's a strong tie to another earth sign. It could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female, or just the traits of this night will be important for you. But you are seeking to make some kind of progress with regard to something. It could be a relationship. Maybe you're involved in something that is a little bit clandestine. Maybe it's a hidden affair. Or perhaps you're focused on a project, your income. You may have ties to people who work in the financial industry. This may be somebody who is a banker, could be real estate. You're seeking some kind of guarantee, perhaps, with regard to something. So you want to illuminate a situation where you've been trying to make progress, and likely you've been meeting with a dead end, or you've been closing the door on someone. So there's some issue that hasn't had resolution. You've been going in a circle, and there may have been times where you felt like you were making progress, and then all of a sudden that doorway closed for you. This is the slowest night in the deck, so you may be seeking to find out why there's such slow movement. It could also be that there's some issues that you're involved in where you're looking at loyalty or faithfulness, steadfastness. So you're looking for something steady, reliable, dependable, and those will be issues, and you're trying to gain some insight about why you haven't been making faster ground or headway. Again, maybe one of you has some enthusiasm about something and the other person is putting a damper on it. One of you may be more enthusiastic about something you're involved in, and the other person is constantly putting the skids on it. So one of you is trying to gain some illumination. This is your conscious desire. So you're likely to be trying to figure out why you haven't made progress, or what's going on with the money, why somebody is always closing the door on something. You're trying to make some headway. And this is going to be a period where you're going to have to be really patient. Things are not going to move as quickly as perhaps you'd like. And you're having to go back and look at your habits, your spending habits, the way you relate, how you invest of yourself, of your time, your energy, your emotion. You're having to look at some things where perhaps you've taken something for granted, and that may be why you keep meeting with a dead end. But your conscious desire is to gain some kind of illumination, to shed a light so that you can make some progress in a situation that seems to have been going absolutely nowhere. Now, your unconscious desire is something that is beneath the surface. You may not be even aware of it yourself. It could be hidden even to you. And very often, your unconscious desire is at odds with your conscious desires. They may not be working in alignment. So these desires may be motivated by suppressed memories, painful experiences, repressed emotions that still continue to exert influence over your behavior without your even realizing it. And again, this can be at odds with your conscious desire and can be the real motivation behind your actions, in spite of whatever it is that you are openly projecting. So for your unconscious desire, you have the Seven of Cups, finance, and the Shadow. So even though you want to you consciously want to gain some illumination to make some progress, you could be feeling very confused about a situation that again ties to money. There could be some kind of longing, a desire. Maybe you're not taking practical action. You're only dreaming about something. Or perhaps there's a desire to manipulate in order to gain. Maybe you say you want to be practical, you want to look at your habits, and yet perhaps there's some extravagant spending. For some of you, you may be grappling with some kind of shadow behavior. Either, maybe you want to buy drugs, maybe you want to buy alcohol, maybe you don't know what to buy, maybe you don't know how to invest your money. Maybe you feel depressed about money. So there could be some fears that you're dealing with, either your own shadow behavior or you're operating under some kind of illusion regarding finance. Now, for some of you, if this has to do with a secret love affair where the door suddenly closed and you want to gain some illumination, maybe, you're finding out something. Or you're stalking somebody, maybe through social media, on the internet, to figure out what's going on. Now, maybe this is somebody who is actually involved in the financial industry. It could be somebody who's wealthy, but there's something about finances that is, has a bearing on your relationship, and maybe you're trying to sort it out. Now, for some of you, there's some fears. You're trying to prioritize. You want to look at what has real value, maybe where you want to invest money, where you want to invest your time. Maybe, you want to buy a gift. You could be manipulating someone into doing something. Or maybe you have fears that you're going to be manipulated. So this is about putting your house in order financially, sorting out what is important, what has value, where you should be spending your time, spending your money, spending your emotion, and acknowledging your fears and any kind of shadow behavior that you are grappling with as a result of that. Now, in spite of what your desires are, whether they're conscious or not, what is it that you actually need? So what you need is a tower moment connected to the future, and you also have kindred spirits. So for some of you, you are trying, again, in many ways to gain some kind of insight. What's needed is a breakthrough, some kind of psychological breakthrough. Maybe this connects to people of like mind that have a bearing on your future, or maybe you're looking at what you need to let go of with regard to something in the future. Maybe you're either planning a future together as a couple, or you realize that you're not a match. You're not on the same page. So something about the distant future, or perhaps, property, taking a trip, something related to technology, something is shocking, surprising, and it's happening suddenly, and you're not prepared for it. Now, this says you don't need to hesitate. You need to get on the move to get with the program. You need to reorganize. So you have sort of a double influence of getting your priorities straight, putting your house in order. And the things that aren't built on solid ground, you are going to have to surrender and let go of. And that could mean something that you are holding on to and selling the idea to yourself that you need it for whatever reason, when actuality, it's keeping you stuck. It's something that is stagnant. So you either need to break out and free yourself from a situation, a circumstance, a way of thinking, or you need to gain some kind of insight about something that you're going to have to let go, even though you don't want to. So this is about tearing it all down and building it back up in a better, more solid way. Again, for some of you, this could be something that's crisis-oriented, some kind of stressful situation that may come about through trauma. It could be a sudden illness. Maybe there's something connected to a friendship or a friend where there's an issue related to something health-wise. Or perhaps, there's been a confrontation. There's some kind of argument. Maybe your friend has said something shocking, or you're going to issue a statement that's very surprising, that's going to take people aback. So there are surprises in order, but this is something that is needed. This is something that is necessary, that is going to further your growth. It's going to free you so that you can move toward the future that you are destined to, perhaps with people who are more in alignment with your thinking, or a change of your group. Now, the positive influence for this situation, this would be the circumstances, the people, the emotions, the conditions that are supporting a positive outcome for you. You have the Two of Swords, clarity, and harmony. So you have a lot of cards in here about, focusing on the details, getting some illumination, gaining some insights, cutting through the fog of a situation, and gaining clarity. There's some kind of dilemma. There's a choice to be made that perhaps you've been struggling with. Now, the positive could be that playing the waiting game is to your advantage. You're going to wait to see how things unfold. You're going to wait for the tide to turn. And maybe that's because you don't have the information. You're waiting to gain more clarity. It could be that you're actually realizing how you've been repressing some kind of emotion that you need to deal with, so that you can have better harmony or equilibrium. It could be that you've been involved in some kind of conflict and you're coming to terms with yourself, or maybe you're having a moment where you're having a truce with someone else. It's the end of the struggle. Maybe you've reached a settlement. Maybe you're involved in negotiations or mediation that has a peaceful, positive outcome. You've gained some clarity on a situation where you didn't know how to move forward. There was some uncertainty. Maybe one of you was sitting on the fence. Now, the negative, though, whatever is blocking that, again, it could be people, issues, obstacles, conditions that are impacting, and they're impacting you in a limiting way. You have this Nine of Swords, opportunity, and surprise. So there's some anxiety. Maybe you're anxious, or maybe there's actual illness. Something is keeping you up at night. And it connects to an opportunity, but it's one that you will have to open the door. Now, maybe you feel some anxiety because you didn't open the door quick enough. There's some element of surprise here, an unexpected encounter, some unexpected news. Once again, you have that surprise element doubly indicated. So you're surprised. Maybe there's some surprise about your anxiety that has been unfounded, or you find out something about an opportunity that you missed. There's some kind of worry where you're concerned about whether the right choice is being made. It could be your concern for someone else. But again, this could be unfounded fear. So that's the negative influence, worried about opportunity. Now, the heart of the situation is the condition, the action, the attitude, the emotion that's at the very root of your circumstances. You have karma. So whatever this is karmic in nature. It's orchestrated by the universe for your benefit, whether that's the opportunity for you to pay off a karmic debt, to learn a karmic lesson, or to evolve spiritually. You're having connections with people that are very tied perhaps to your past. So this may be somebody that you've endured many incarnations with. It could be that you're simply dealing with some unfinished business. And it ties to your expression, self-expression, perhaps your creativity, being in the spotlight in some way. So there's a karmic connection. Maybe something was said. Again, some kind of surprising statement or some psychological breakthrough. And you have, I still need to heal. Now, for some of you, this is on a physical level. There could be issues where maybe there's a concern about a particular drug. Maybe the cost of the drug is really high, or you're having to find a drug that pays for an illness that comes on suddenly. It could be high blood pressure. Maybe somebody has suffered a stroke. You have something that is shocking, disturbing, unsettling that you still need to heal from. Now, it could be something emotional. Maybe it's a missed opportunity, or maybe it's financial worries, or the discovery that, that your partner has been unfaithful, or you're grappling with infidelity, your own. But there's something that you still need to heal from. And again, it's very karmic in nature. There's some kind of spiritual lesson, debt, or experience that the universe is involved in. Now, what is the call to action for you? You have passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Now, for some of you, this may be a passion for a project. Maybe your income is related to something artistic or creative. Maybe you do this on the internet. Maybe this, again, is some kind of sudden passion that you have for somebody that maybe is inexplicable, or somebody has a feeling for you. So this is about finding your passion, expressing it, and maybe there's some things you still need to heal from. Now, this passion may also be anger about a situation. Your other call to action is ask for it. So maybe you need to ask for support for your passion, or maybe you need to be passionate when you ask for something, or maybe you're angry about something because you haven't asked for it, or you did ask for it, but put passion behind your requests. There's something that you need to ask for. You need to gain some clarity, some insight about a confusing situation that has been causing you some kind of worry, anxiety or frustration, perhaps about how slowly something has moved along, or where you haven't been able to make progress, or something is not quite as it appears. So you want to make progress. Maybe you want to buy a luxury property, or you want to buy an expensive computer, or maybe you want to do something with the internet, or maybe you suddenly discover something on the internet. Maybe you want to make headway on a creative project. But there's some kind of dilemma that you've been worried about. It's been causing you some stress. You want to gain some illumination about something that perhaps hasn't been easily understood, that ties to the group dynamic, whether it's connecting with people of like mind, maybe it's getting therapy, counseling. You are looking at areas of fear, manipulation, and getting some insight and guidance on that. And it's likely to tie on something that's been a dead end for you. Something where you're looking for future income, or money that's going to come to you in the future, or a relationship that's based on money, where again, you keep meeting with a dead end. You want to gain some harmony. Perhaps you're looking at how you should express yourself, or maybe something a friend said to you that was surprising. Or maybe, there's something surprising about your way of speaking or expressing yourself. You want to gain some clarity about a karmic opportunity that you have to take the initiative to get started. And so it has something to do with healing, either physically or emotionally. And your action is to put passion behind a request. All right, Taurus, now that you know what's at the heart of your situation for February, head over to Vimeo to find out the end of the story, how it's all likely to turn out. I want to thank you for sharing your time and space. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in purchasing any of the Love Indie decks featured in this reading, the link is down below.